Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Binky here today with a new fragrance. The lighting's a little bit wonky. There's people arguing outside. Major city. And let me tell you, somebody was honking and then somebody else shouted back, "We're not going anywhere, dude." And I lost it. Wish it had been on camera. I love that guy. We get along just fine. So yes, but you're not here for traffic patterns in major cities that are overpriced to live in. No, you're here for Born to Stand Out. So this one is mud and juxtaposes wet soil with the dark blend of almonds, chocolate, amber, and sandalwood. Now this sounds amazing to me because I love the smell of dirt. Did they just say dirt? Yep. I love the smell of dirt. Don't ask. When I was When I was a little kid, I loved the smell of wet earth and I used to eat it. I would eat it. I love the taste and smell so much. I know, it's so crazy. Until I found a worm in it and then I quit, which was wise because I was like 3 or 4. So, hazy scent of wet soil amidst the rain. The pouring rain cools off the ground. Water fiercely falls from the edge of the roof. Raindrops splash on the grass and the ground turns to mud. The subtle scent of the water, the wet grass, and muddy ground permeates the air. Now, I love everything about this so far. So the notes are almond, milk, chocolate, Turkish rose, plum, amber, LME, sandalwood, vanilla, sold. Sold. This is a Binky scent. 100% sold on this. There's not one thing that I don't like about this. But we don't know how it's going to work. So let's give it a shot. Let's start here. I'm going to put it on this side. And then, whoo, much better. Nice. So this one is beautiful. Immediately, I'm not getting mud. I'm not getting that. Did they say it actually had mud in it? Again, I rattle things off. Nope, Turkish. No, there is absolutely. So no, I think it's more of just, it's trying to imitate that kind of aspect of it. It doesn't smell like it at all. This isn't, Demeter or zoologists who like actually try to make it smell like that. It's not like that. There are brands that do. This is not Demeter. So immediately I'm getting this beautiful chocolatey scent. So it's almost like they're going for a mud pie. So it's this beautiful chocolatey scent with vanilla, and I am getting the LME. I love LME. It's one of those scents that I knew about, but I didn't really think about it until I started doing this channel, and I know that scent. It's one of my favorite notes now. I am a huge fan of tonka, vanilla, sandalwood, and amber, and I'm pretty sure it has this with a strong case of LME in it and chocolate, and that's what I'm getting. Yep, absolutely. That's exactly what it has. And if it has tonka, vanilla, sandalwood, and amber, I'm going to like it. And I'm getting that base. I'm getting that it's just a classic combination. But what's beautiful about this is it mixes with the chocolate. You get the chocolate note and you get the LME. I'm not getting the rose yet. So there is kind of like a plum scent coming out, and if I recall, it's there. Almost like a fruitiness to it. So there's this fruitiness. I'm not getting the Turkish rose yet, but just moving around, and this is why I moved this out of the dabber to an actual bottle, is you get the scent moving. It's that plum. That is wild. So originally I got this chocolate and this plum, or this chocolate and the LME, but now I'm getting that beautiful plum coming through. This is okay. Born to Stand Out. This is one of the more delicate scents of the group. Very delicate, but my goodness, it's beautiful. Like if you really want this to flourish, you're gonna want to do like 6 to 8 sprays. I'm seeing, unless you want a very light hand. But it's just this chocolatey LME scent with like a little bit of plum, and it sounds like it should not work. It does. It's kind of like this does what? But it does. It's like this beautiful cocoa with this beautiful, like, so what's the name mud? What I'm getting from it is almost this visual of, you get these like almost earthy notes with the chocolate. That is creating, I'm not really getting the almond. The chocolate is almost making it heavy, but then you get this beautiful elemi and plum just jumping over it. So it's like a chocolate bar almost. And it's not a strong chocolate. It's more cocoa. It's more of like a cocoa with elemi and plum just bouncing and radiating around it. It's so beautiful. Interesting, because originally I was getting that vanilla, that tonka, and I am getting a little of that tonka still. But now the elemi, which are lighter notes, and plum are just jumping over the rest of it. And it's just that cocoa and that vanilla and elemi. This is gorgeous. This is so beautiful. Oh, this is so beautiful. This basically is one of those scents that would become a signature scent. And I know it's early yet, and with Born to Stand Out, it can either stay how it begins with slight alterations, or it could go completely different. And I don't know where this is going to go, so I don't want to get too excited, because I've been fooled before with this brand. Specifically, Indecent Cherry it took me on a ride that it wasn't supposed to go, and it did, and that's okay. This is what Binky wants to smell like on most days. Oh, it's just so beautiful and light and not overwhelming. But let's try it on the wrist again. Yeah, it's just this beautiful plum chocolatey, like plum chocolatey with elemi. It's just so light. There's something I'm recognizing too from when I was a child. Almost like some kind of toy that had a certain smell to it. That's almost what it kind of smells like too on my chemistry, and I can't place it. It was like I went to a friend's house and they had dolls and there'd be scent on it or whatever, or a toy. I didn't have stuff like that, but I was like, whoa, and I would just sniff it. I'm like, this is weird. Because I was a tomboy. I played video games and sports and stuff, so, but I always kind of wanted to see how the other half lives. And I was like, I'm going to smell this doll's head. And my friend's like, please leave. But yeah, but let's try it on this shirt. On the shirt, I'm getting more of that chocolatey amber. That chocolatey amber vanilla elemi goodness. Not getting the plum as much. Very interesting. So it's going to play very specifically on your chemistry is what I'm finding this early on. Let's try here. Interesting. Here it's more almond based. I think it's that almond which could have a cherry flavor to it. And maybe that's what that is too. Almond tends to have a little bit of a cherry note to it to me, and then mixed with the plum, it's adding that fruitiness with that chocolate amber. So it's like a chocolate amber fruitiness of that like almond mixed with that plum, with that amber and elemi and vanilla. Ooh, and a chocolatey goodness. That is so good. Yeah, I am kind of getting it here, but what's happening is I'm not getting the amber coming through as much or the chocolatey goodness. A little bit, but not as much. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous, and I don't want to say that the full time. So what I'm going to do is I am going to wear this. I'm going to wear this for the next hour, and I'm going to check back in, but I am loving this so far. And we'll see where this one goes, because this one's beautiful. I'm just going to say it. Please don't change, because this one's so beautiful. I never want it to change. Oh, so good. Okay, so it has been an hour. I've been filming a lot of videos today for this channel. There you go. Wearing the same thing. So, yes, this one is very light, but I can definitely still smell it. So this is one of those ones that would really help to do at least 6 to 8 sprays to really make it come forward. I do find that Born to Stand Out in general tends to be pretty bold. Like their fragrances are pretty solid. But what I'm finding right now is that there's those few that are very gentle, and Mud is one of them. I hope I said what it was. I mean, there's a picture to the side usually, but still. So when I move, I could definitely still smell it. It actually reminds me of something which excites me in such a big way, but I will bring that up at the end when I find it. I just wish I had more oomph. But let's try here. So here on my chemistry, it doesn't have the same oomph as it does on the clothing. Oomph is the word of the day. So I'm getting a little bit of the chocolatiness, the tonka, the vanilla. And a little bit of musk coming through, which is strange because there is no musk listed on it, but it doesn't, I don't know if that always means that it doesn't have it in it. I'm smelling it. I really am smelling it on me. I'm very sensitive. My chemistry loves those things. And it's not listed, but it's coming through. Yeah, very interesting. But I'm getting a little bit of that chocolate mixed with the amber, vanilla, tonka, and a little bit of rose. Just the rose is coming through, and it's almost creating like a sweet tart effect, which is those like pastel candies that are chalky. So very interesting. But let's try it on the shirt. It's spicier on the shirt. On the shirt, there's like a chocolatey amber, vanilla, tonka goodness. I'm not getting the floral as much as I am here. So it's this beautiful amber chocolatiness with vanilla and tonka. And that's what I'm smelling, because I'm smelling it just kick up a little bit. And this is the scent that I'm loving more than my chemistry. I'm loving it on here. But let's try it on the paper. That more elemy here. Yeah, I am getting a little bit on my chemistry as well, but very elemy here. With amber and vanilla, but no chocolate. So they're all very different. So I want to point out that this one, which I find that tends to happen with Born to Stand Out, get a sample with everything. But my reasoning is this is one of those ones that's going to morph very differently depending on your chemistry. Very different. On clothing to the paper to my chemistry are completely different scents. They're in the same arena, but they are different. No matter what, it's a beautiful scent. This is really gorgeous. It just suffers from a little bit of, there's no silage to it. It wants, like, I want it to come forward a little bit more, be a little bit bolder, but it's really beautiful. Ooh, this one's good. So we're going to check back in an hour, hopefully, or an hour, 4 hours. Hopefully this one pushes through. All right, so it has been 5 hours total, and we made it. We can still smell a little bit of mud. Not a lot. So I'm going to be honest, this one is very weak at this point, but I walk around every once in a while in a certain way, and it just, ooh, so it's still definitely there, but this is one that you're going to want to spray a good 6 to 8 sprays, and then walk around before you leave the house a little bit, and then go meet the world, because it needs a little bit of help. That being said, this one is really nice, and this is exactly what a binky scent is supposed to be. It's just, it's the amber, tonka, vanilla, sandalwood. Yes, please. That is what I'm about. That is my thing. So definitely still getting that. But there is something that's a little bit more bitter to it at this point. When I move, I can smell a little bit of bitterness coming up, which is interesting. It's not horrible at all, but I'm getting a little bit of that. But let's try it on the chemistry. Ooh, it's like there's a spiciness to it almost. I don't know if that's the amber. I think it's the amber, but there's a little bit of spiciness, just a little bit, with some amber and vanilla and elemi coming through. Yeah, and I am getting still a little bit of musk, but there's something almost bitter in there, just a little bit. It's not a bad thing. But let's try it on the clothing. Ooh, on the clothing, it is glorious. It's this chocolatey amber, vanilla, and tonka with elemi. It's just that beautiful amber chocolate. Oh, so good, so good. And lastly, let's try it on this. It's that amber. It's that, a lot of the amber coming through. Amber, mostly amber and vanilla. LME. Amber, a little bit of vanilla, and LME coming through. And a little bit of that rich chocolate underneath. I will say I much prefer it on this shirt and here than on my chemistry, but it's amazing on my chemistry, but even better on my shirt and on that. But it reminds me of something which makes me extremely happy. Oh, I can't find it. It's here in my cabinet somewhere. And it's this beautiful Bath & Body Works fragrance that's an amber chocolate. And I absolutely love it. And then somebody recommended a perfume from Zara that was similar to it, which it is. But this perfume is almost similar to it as well. It isn't a dead knockoff, because if it was, I would hoard it. The Bath & Body Works doesn't make it anymore. I love this because it's amber and chocolate and it is one of the best scents I've ever used. And I almost don't want to use it anymore, but it's going to go bad because it's a cream, because I love it so much and it lasts forever. It's so strong. So if you have any suggestions of an amber chocolate scent that has bold, strong smell that's going to last, almost like a gourmand, please let me know down below, because I'm looking. But this kind of reminds me of that, with that chocolatiness and that amber and that LME and vanilla. It's very similar. It's in that same box, except it's not as bold. And I wish the chocolate notes and amber came forward just a little bit more, but that's because I've been chasing that scent. I have been chasing it in a bottle, not just a cream. So Bath & Body Works, what are you doing? Bring that back. But there you go. So that is what this reminds me of, and I absolutely love it. So if I were going to break this one apart, I would say this one really is kind of a year-round one. Though I think it wouldn't do as well in winter. It might get a little lost because it is a little bit more gentle. So late fall into winter, it might get a little bit lost. Or if you're the opposite, different hemisphere, then, obviously in your winter months, this may not do as well either. So this is really for most of the year, except those really cold days where I think it would get lost. What I love about it is that, well, if we're going to put it into a category, so masculine, feminine, we wear what we want when we want. I should wear that in a t-shirt and just point. If we were going to put it into a category, I think even though this is a gourmandish type scent, because of that vanilla, because of that tonka, that LME sometimes can be seen as, oh, more gourmand. I see that. But what gets it to be a little bit more is that chocolatey, that chocolate and that amber kind of make it a little bit more than that. It makes it a little bit more like, hey, I'm grounding it. And that's what I love about it. That's what I really love about it. I don't even think this would be too sweet for summer, being too cloying. I don't get it, but you may want to try a sample to see how this reacts on you. But I do feel that some may say it leans a little bit more feminine because of the gourmand qualities, but I say wear what you want when you want. I think it's delicious. I would love to smell this on everybody. It's really quite beautiful, but it's very different, I think, than a lot of Born to Stand Out. This doesn't really seem like, to me, when I think of Born to Stand Out, this does not seem like that to me. If that makes sense. It's kind of interesting. I don't really get that. I don't know. It stands out from the rest of them in a certain way. They can be really girly, gourmand, almost sickeningly sweet, but this one's not. I think this one's just perfect. I don't know. I can't describe it. Every perfume brand has its, its chemistry, its biology of what it is, and you're like, oh, I know what brand this is. This doesn't really, to me, fit like Born to Stand Out, and that's not a good or bad thing. It just is my thought process. I think it's fantastic. I love it. So if I were going to rate this, this totally fits in the pocket of everything I love. And then, you throw Elmi on top of it. Like, why are we even talking? In chocolate? What? I would give this one a 9.5 solely, and this is where you have to be careful when you watch people's channels. Of course, it's their opinion. If you hate gourmands and you hate vanilla, tonka, amber, and sandalwood, that whole combination, you're going to go, that's like a 2. So just know that. This is just one person's opinion, and this is exactly the chemistry of what I like in a fragrance. This is exactly Binky in a bottle. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.5. Even with the problems with longevity and sillage, I don't care. I'll spray on more. I love this. This is what I want to smell like. So yeah. And some people may go, this is really boring. And that's okay too, because it is maybe. So that, oh, I gave it a 9.5. There you go. So with that, have a fabulous day, my friends. Bye. Okay, so I forgot to say, unless you're staying for the Korean drama suggestion, I messed that up. But that's okay. It's been a long week. So let's talk about it. This one is going to be another movie, and I don't watch a lot of Korean movies, and I need to start doing it more, and I will start doing it more. But there was this one that was also such a fabulous find, but it wasn't such a find because it was everywhere, and that's Parasite. That being said, this deserved it. I think that this is such a good movie, and I kind of suggest this, depending, like, I suggested another movie, but that's more for horror buffs, but for somebody who's interested in social issues or suspense, you know, with a little bit of dark comedy, this would be for you, a drama. And so I'll suggest it. I'll go, oh, they'll go, well, I like Korean dramas. And I went, well, the dramas are very different from movies, but try this movie and see what you think, and then venture forth from there. I can give you more suggestions for dramas, depending if you like this movie or not. Just tell me what you like. But this is a big movie with a big social commentary, and I think you either get it or you don't. But I don't want to give too much away. But it's basically, there's two families. There's one that's extremely poor but resourceful, and a family that's extremely wealthy. And basically the poor family tries to work for this wealthy family, and over time they infiltrate their staff to where basically they've taken over this household, the poor family, and the wealthy isn't even fully aware of what's happening. And it's interesting to see the way the poor family kind of gets their way in and starts manipulating things and gets greedy, and how the story goes. What I think is actually more interesting is the social commentary, which is basically what you realize with the poor families, they're actually very smart. They figure out ways to infiltrate, and even though it may not be the best way to do it, they're very smart in their tactics. If they used that in a different way, they could probably be successful, but here's the social aspect of it. Just because you're smart, if you come from a poor family, sometimes you do not have the education or the ability to move ahead. It's like, it can be very difficult. Like, use people, for example, for me, when I was in school, I was very poor, and I had to work full time, even though legally I wasn't supposed to. I did it to help support my family. So other kids were doing, I did really well in school, but it was more difficult for me because I had to work a full-time job and go to school, when these other kids who came from better families, not the better families, financially better families, were able to just focus on schooling, you know? And so it's things like that. You can move ahead, but it can be very difficult, and it depends on the society too, and the structure of how it works. It's a little bit easier, I think, in America than other countries. I'll flat out say that. But and even then it's difficult. So just because somebody is smart doesn't mean that they can necessarily move ahead if they're in a lower financial bracket, where with the wealthy family, they're wealthy, the kids are wealthy. That's all they've known. Sometimes, and I'm not saying all rich people are like this, I have known and worked with rich people. Some of them can be more problematic, while other ones can be very good people who see how lucky they are. They basically help other people to get ahead by giving them money so that they can move ahead in education and things, and take an interest in other people. They're big humanitarians, and it's not because it makes them look good. You don't even know they're doing it. I worked with somebody who was like that, and one of the best human beings I've ever met, and he knew how lucky he was. He worked harder than heck, but he was still very much aware. And I love that. So basically it just shows, though, how some wealthy people can lose empathy because they've never really learned it. They've always been on top, and they treat people who, like some of the people in this household, before they basically were released for the other family to get in, like a maid, would say, I didn't do this, but they weren't believed. And they were just let go without even allowing this person to have explanation, because it's like, you're replaceable. You're just a servant. You're replaceable. That kind of attitude. But then you see how this poor family starts doing things too, because they get kind of greedy with it. So both sides aren't better than the other. But you do see the struggles of this family. But you don't have to be corrupt to move ahead. And yet these people sometimes could be corrupt. There's a lot of there's no black and white. There's a lot of gray with this one. And it comes to a head at the end. And it's like, whoa. So there you go. It's just a really good social commentary mixed into a really good plot with really good acting and some twists and turns. It's pretty wild. I really recommend this. It deserved the awards that it got. Big applause. I really recommend this. If you're new to Korean drama, start with Parasite and then go from there. And if you need anything more, watch some of the suggestions I've made in the Born to Stand Out videos, or you can just write to me below. I'll give you some. So there you go. And we don't have to sit through it. That's cool too. But yeah, big thumbs up. And with that, have a fabulous day, my friends. Bye.